Today we're headed to the rugged hills of Monforte d'Alba, a land full of history and ambition. Here in the heart of the Busia Crew, one of Barolo's most prized patches of earth, we meet Simone Scaletta, a man who doesn't just make wine, he draws it from the land, coaxing its essence from the soil with grit and passion. We'll walk the rows of vines, uncork a few of his early vintages, and see what's been simmering underneath the surface of these ancient soils. So join me as we dive deep into Simone's world, where every bottle tells a story of sweat, dirt, and dreams. Welcome to Inside the Vines.
Here we are, man, in amazing Monforte d'Alba. Right now, one of the towns that make up the Barolo appellation. There's some amazing wines that come out of this small area. And you know, this whole area is made up of people who for generations have owned stuff. And we're at Simone Scaletta, and I mean, he gave up a family business and re-entered Piemonte to make wines. Incredible story. Let's go talk to him and see what's up. Simone!
Simone Scaletta is this incredible guy who's embarked on this wild journey of starting his own winery from scratch.
What's unique about Simone is that he started from nothing here, whereas a lot of other people have a family history. Simone really saw something he wanted to do, and he built it from the ground up.
When he bought this property, there was no house, and he lived in a van on his property for years and years.
He went after a dream, and what a dream.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
I love it because first thing he says is he goes, "Did you guys have lunch?" They have their priorities set here. You know what I mean?
Simone, what made you decide to make Barolo of all wines?
So I thought if I can produce the Barolo, is only a limited production, and so it's easy to sell. And so I want to come in the Barolo area. I find the casa that I have now, and I start to produce Barolo, but I have seen that it's not so simple to
Were you
sell.
right? Is it easy to sell?
No, not so simple. It's simple if you have a history of 50, 100 years.
Yeah.
The seller, you need a lot of time. And also the choose of Monforte was casual, but I was very lucky because Monforte, compared to the other village, is very live. Every village, like La Morra, Barolo, normally the producer have the same characteristic. You can recognize the Barolo from Barolo, from La Morra, while in Monforte you can find a different version. If you go in the square of the village, you see some people that live there, you can understand that there
Very
is so
different.
many difference.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these two wines are very different.
Yeah.
You have one very young, bright acidity, fresh, and the other
Clean.
more earthy, developed,
More classically styled.
classic style Barolo.
Yeah.
So we're gonna check out his cellar now, and then I'm really dying to go and see what these vineyards are like. Wow. Warehouse. Whoa.
This is where I do the vinification.
Yeah.
And I have 4 tanks with the temperature controlled, but I use also the concrete.
So where's the destemmer and you put it here and then you push it?
Yeah. I divided the skin to the stem there, and with the pump I push the grapes here.
Incredible. This is an old, obviously like farmhouse area. There's a window. So he opens the window, he puts a tube through there because the destemmer's outside. And then it passes everything that he gets out to here, and then he pumps it right into these tanks. So show me where after this, where do you take the wines next?
After the vinification, I put the wine in the wood. I show you the wood. For me, my philosophy about the wine is very important that the wood don't cover the typical characteristic of the grape. But in any case, the wood is a very good help to around the tannins and the acidity. And so the Barolo Kirlet that you know very well, he stay 1 year here, and then I put in a big barrel 3,000 liter, one other year, and 1 year in concrete before bottling.
What does the concrete do for the wine?
Very important. After 2 years of the wine in wood, if you put in stainless steel, the wine go too much in reduction, it too close. While in concrete, it take a little bit air, is more fine, is more gentle.
So the concrete has more oxygenation.
Yeah, a little bit, a small difference, but I have
Reduction
seen,
is the lack of oxygen. It's like when the wine is closed, and you hear
Yeah,
that word,
yeah.
it doesn't express itself. It's just too wound up. So that micro-oxygen helps kind of bring its natural aromatics out.
And I have seen that it is more drinkable, more fine.
How did you come to these processes that going to the concrete is something that you learned or
I
something
try,
testing?
I learn here trying.
I love the tradition of the wine here.
Yeah,
You know?
the roots are very deep. Yeah.
And that's why everybody here adheres to the rules, so to speak, of aging, of doing things to put out a traditional product. They find their own voice within these little touches. Little bit. That's really interesting.
Okay.
Okay, andiamo.
Okay, normally if you want to check the maturation of the grapes, you take the skin more far from the grapes, because there is difference between this and this. This there is more sugar, this less. And you taste first the sugar inside the pulp of the skin, and then you feel the seams. The seams normally must be croccanti, crispy,
Crunchy.
crispy, crunchy. So this one there is the alcohol, but the skin and the steams are not ready.
Too hard.
Yeah, the Nebbiolo is not ready.
Very high technology.
Yeah,
High
experience.
technology for finding that level of ripeness. Simone, grazie.
Thank you.
Thank you again to
Chin
taste,
chin.
Really nice.
Chin
to
chin.
taste your wines.
Chin chin.
And more importantly, to taste these great
Yeah.
vintages. 16, many people consider one of the great vintages.
And it's still live, still fresh.
Oh, yeah. The 16 is great. It's balanced, it's dry, powerful, really great. What do we try next, Simone?
Next, I prefer
Bussia.
to try Bussia 20.
Now this is a treat. It's still not labeled.
It's aged 24 months in no 500, 600 liters.
That mentholated Bussia.
Very
It's a
expressive on the
crazy
smell.
classic thing from that vineyard. Juicier wine than his usual selections. This one has a little more going on grip-wise. Wow. This wine is a great wine to show
Yeah.
people because it has it all. Big, aromatics, flavor in the mouth.
Special vintage here, 2014. So 14
This is
recognized as not a top vintage, classically speaking, but
there is more rain than the vintage, too much sun. Unfortunately, but it's like this.
When I was
Maybe-
selling wine in '96, it was the release of '92 Burgundy. Everyone, in 4 years, everybody couldn't get enough of those wines. Because sometimes what's considered a great vintage, power, extract, all these things, this makes for immediate drinking. I mean,
This is very good.
yeah,
It's very
like-
elegant.
maybe it's not a wine to hold on to for 50 years, but
No, it's a
No,
wine to
but
drink
now you
drink
drink
now.
very well.
it's great.
Yeah.
Wow, the finish is amazing. It
Complex.
curtails the acidity with the fruit. It's perfectly balanced, elegant, really nice. Listen, I want to say this has been a great first year that we're working together,
Thank you.
and your work
Thank you
keeps
for
getting
being
better. And we wait for you in New York, bro.
Yeah.
Great one today. Simone is a one-off. His story is incredible. These vineyards are incredible. And it's great to, in an area with stuff so defined, to, have a new winery, an up-and-coming winery.
And it's hats off to him because it's so much hard work and it took so much guts to come to this area with all of these legendary producers and believe in yourself to think that you could come and do it here in one
Yeah.
of the most prestigious wine areas in the world.
it's great to put a face to the name because there's a lot of wines out there and a lot of people make great wine, but when you really establish a connection with somebody and get to know them and spend time with them, then you have a different perception of the wine and a whole other feeling about them.
It is a different experience once you know the person. He's a character and definitely someone who's going to be doing better and better wines. That's for sure.
So can't wait to keep
That was
working
good.
with him and keep drinking the wines.
Yeah. Don't drink them all. Take it easy.